This afternoon, the Columbus State University basketball teams are home to take on Flagler in Peach Belt Conference action. Hi again, everyone. Welcome to Cougar Sports TV as we'll begin with the women's game here. And Coach Matt Hauser, we had a chance to talk with him just a little earlier about today's ball game. Scott Miller at Herbert Green Court in the Lumpkin Center, and joined here on the pregame show by Columbus State Lady Cougar coach Matt Hauser. Home sweet home. Time to get back in the win column against Flagler today.
Yep. It's great to be back home. Always good to be back home.
Well, Wednesday night is just one of those nights we didn't shoot well. You just have to flush it and move on, right?
Yeah, I mean, we just, again, I was very impressed with the shots that we got. I think they ran their offense, to a T against it. At the end of the day, to see Liège miss 3 wide open threes, is a very rare experience. So same thing with Chrislyn, who's been shooting, at 70%, field goal percentage, missed as many shots that she missed. Normally these things go in. And in the beginning, when that happens, that can be a, game changer just because you're not seeing the ball fall in. It can be a little bit with your psyche. But I got a hats off to them. In the first half, they just still tried to stay with what we were trying to do. It's just we just could not make a layup. We could not make a, an outside shot. And sometimes teams have those games. But I'd rather have that game now and then not have it, going into the NCAA tournament, conference tournament in the future.
Well, Flagler here today, they have a new coach, but he's not really new. He's just new to them.
Yeah, Mo is a great guy,
Is.
From Georgia College. He's been here in this Peach Belt for, I think, 15 years or something, like that. So extreme vet, great coach. He's got Flagler doing some good things. And, again, this is the Peach Belt. You just can't take any game lightly.
What challenges will they present?
I think they're just going to try to, use their speed to their, to their success, because that's what they want to do. They want to pick up speed. They want to transition. They want to score in transition. And I think it's our, what we talked about in the walkthrough and everything is talking about, getting back on defense, our defensive transition, making stops, making them shoot from the outside, and also making sure we're rebounding and transitioning on them.
All right, Matt, good luck. We'll talk to you after.
All right, thank you, Scott.
All right, Columbus State coach Matt Hauser here on Cougar Sports TV as we get ready for today's ball game. And we're at Herbert Green Court here inside the Lumpkin Center. Scott Miller along with my broadcast partner, former Cougar great Mike Sanda. And Mike, Peach Belt Conference games, you have to protect the home court. And both CSU teams coming off of a loss on the road on Wednesday night. And in particular in the women's game now we're at, the Lady Cougars need to bounce back and put one in the win column here.
Well, they really do, and it was a tough night Wednesday night, but they played a really good team in North Georgia. As you heard Coach Hauser say, they did not shoot the ball well, and when you go on the road and you don't shoot the ball well, that normally adds up to a loss. He said something interesting to me about this Flagler team with the coach coming from Georgia College. He always played very slow at Georgia College, and now it appears he's wanting to play up tempo, so that was interesting to me, but you're right. Lady Cougars back home today and need to get back on the winning track.
Now, you were a great shooter in your day, still hold the all-time record for three-pointers made in a career for the men. Liège, for instance, had a tough shooting night on Wednesday night. She's just got to flush that right and keep shooting.
Oh, no question about it. I mean, Liège, she knows she's a great shooter and a great scorer. I mean, she's one of the best three-point shooters in the league. So you're right, Scott. I think it was a good point you made as well. You just have to flush the one Wednesday night, put it out of your mind, and get ready to go today.
All right, the Saints have come out. The Lady Cougars about to come out of the huddle here. We welcome all of you watching and listening today on Cougar Sports TV. We're lucky that Mike has a face for television.
Ugh.
Because if it was just me, it would be rough. All right, Lady Cougars all in white, trimmed in red and blue, and they'll go to the basket to your right. And we'll be set to get this one underway here in the final moments. They're checking something at the scores table now in the official book, so we have some sort of delay, and they're sending the players back to their benches. So well, let's see what's going to happen here. Normally, you start looking at that. Now they're going to call Coach Moe down with Matt as well.
Yeah, it looks like something with the book over there.
And normally when this happens, we might see some technical free throws shot if there is something wrong. And now one of the officials is going to come over and explain to the other one.
But what they submitted was correct, so we corrected with no penalty.
Okay, thank you.
Well, we're not going to see any technical free throws. The ref making it clear that there will be no penalty, so there was evidently a number discrepancy.
But they said it was submitted correctly, and that's why no penalty. All right, so we are underway here this afternoon. The tap is controlled by CSU. Leads on the left wing. Leasia Williamson driving, fumbled it, but she got it back. Kicks it in the corner to Kayla Carter. Back to Leasia. Her entry pass is knocked out of bounds by Flagler. And Ebo will try to get it in, and she will to Lee behind the arc on the right side. Lee just inside the arc. Good.
Well, that's a beauty, and that's a good start for CSU. We mentioned Leasia flushing the other night, and that's exactly what she did, making her first one.
And then Flagler throws the ball out of bounds. Kiera Crane trying to get it in and tossed it wide and out of bounds, and CSU will get the ball back here. And here is Ebo getting it into Kayla Carter between the circles down the left side of the lane. Up top to Chris Boston in the key. Ebo, Ebony Williams in the key, shooting and missing, and the rebound goes to the Saints. Namaya Pierce with the rebound for Flagler. Head of the key. Right elbow, picking up the dribble now, kicking it back out to Crane. Kicks it on the wing. Lee almost got a steal, but not quite. Inside, they flip it back up to the key, a drive, and Dawkins got a hand on it, but they got it back. Pierce did and laid it up and in.
Yeah, Pierce just beat Dawkins to that ball and got herself an easy basket.
So we're 2-2 here in the early going. Lee Williamson, Chris Boston, and the ball's knocked away by Pierce. She's ahead of the field, and she will lay it up and in.
Yeah, Chris Boston just getting a little bit lazy with the basketball. She put it out right in front of her face. Pierce took it from her and went all the way and laid it in. Nice play.
All right, so the Saints are up 4-2 now. And Chris Boston, high post left side. Ebony Williams, Dawkins head of the key. Puts it on the floor down the right side of the lane all the way off the glass. Good.
Boy, that was a beautiful move. Just ISO'd at the elbow there. Nice one-on-one play.
Tied it up at 4. Pressure in the back court. They beat it into the front court. And a jumper just inside the free throw line is good by Wade.
That's a good call, Scott. They beat that pressure and got it to the open man and cashed it in.
All right, there's Kayla Carter on the left wing. She'll move up, take a three, and miss it. Long rebound, Saints. Back the other way. Down the right side, dishing it off. And the shot is up by Pierce. No, rebound, Boston. Outlet to Kayla Carter. Carter into the front court. Carter spinning in the lane, off the rim a couple of times, no good. And Mathis with the rebound for the Saints. Kiera Crane back the other way. Crane a drive and kicked it back. Ball loose on the floor out front. Diving on the floor is Kayla Carter, and they will get Kayla for the foul.
That's a tough call. Kayla just going after that ball, getting on the floor, and there was some contact, but tough call on Kayla.
All right, into the front court now, Boyd. 6'4" Flagler, 6:56 on the clock in the first quarter. There is Pierce, a move and a shot is no good, and the rebound goes to Dawkins. Ashane gets it out to Leasia Williamson driving. A lot of contact, no foul. Ball out of bounds, still belongs to CSU.
Yeah, refs letting them play a little bit around the rim.
Ebo baseline to the left of the basket. Gets it in up top to Dawkins. Ajane, who has been so solid for this club all year long. The jumper up top is no good, and the rebound goes to Dawkins and back out. Since moving into the starting lineup, Dawkins has been just consistently good for CSU. Ebo, elbow jumper good.
Well, the third time's a charm for Ebo. Her third shot of the game, finally gets one to go.
6-6, a little pressure. They get it into the front court. In the key, kick it out on the wing, put it on the floor. Jumper outside of the lane, in and out, no good. But there's Pierce with a rebound, good.
Yeah, Pierce is a bit of a problem down there. A big girl, and went and got herself an offensive rebound. She has six of Flagler's 8 points.
All right, Lee Williamson at the head of the key. Dawkins over to Ebo on the right wing. Gets it to Boston down low. Off the glass. Oh, she missed it. And the rebound goes to Flagler and a foul on CSU.
Well, Chris Boston certainly would like to have that one back. And going back to the pregame talk with Coach Hauser, that's another missed layup for Chris. And she's been finishing those all year. But she missed an easy one there.
All right, the Saints get it in. They dribble through the pressure, and they get a breakaway and a layup good by Mathis.
That's just a total breakdown of the press right there, and that was on Dawkins. She just missed her assignment, easy layup.
Leasia Williamson, a baseline drive, good. She took a nice little handoff and drove and laid it in. They come back in a hurry the other way, shot up, no good. We got a hand on it and a held ball. It still belongs to Flagler.
Well, it's good to see Lee Williamson with 4 early points here. Mentioned the struggles she had Wednesday night. When she doesn't score, it makes it very tough on this team to win, and off to a nice start today.
Get the ball in the lane, and the short jumper by Crane is good.
Yeah, Flagler really doing good work around the basket.
12-8, Flagler on top. Dawkins, they stop her drive. She kicks it out to Ebo. Here's Kayla Carter right in front of us. We're courtside across from the scores table. A little bit different spot today. Free throw line jumper by Ebo is no good, and the rebound goes to the Saints. Pierce with it. You're right, Pierce is impressive.
Yes, she is. Good rebounder, big frame.
Here's Ivana Boyd to drive, and she missed the layup, and the rebound goes to Ajane Dawkins to Kayla Carter. They knock it away from her and steal it. A spinning move into the front court, and we stop it, and they kick it back out to Wade. On the left wing, a baseline drive by Mathis. Back up top to Wade. Mathis driving the baseline. Dawkins won't let her in. Short jumper. Dawkins with a rebound. Good D by Ajane. Leasia Williamson back all the way off the glass. Missed it. Rebound goes to the Saints. Into the front court. Crane with a behind-the-back dribble to escape pressure. Baseline jumper is good by Mathis.
Well, Flagler has looked very impressive on the offensive end so far. They're getting good shots, and they're knocking them in, and they have themselves a 6-point lead.
All right, Lee into the front court. We've got a couple of players at the scores table over there. Lee for 3, head of the key, a little short, grazed the front of the rim, and the Saints with a rebound. 14-8 Flagler, 3:26 to play here in the first quarter. Ball knocked out of bounds, still belongs to Flagler. That'll get us to a media timeout. 14-8, Flagler on top here with 3:21 to play in the first quarter here on Cougar Sports TV.
Choosing the right college can be a challenge. Does it offer degrees suited to your career goals? Are emerging fields of study more your interest, like cybersecurity, gaming, or environmental science? What about extracurricular activities, such as campus life, study abroad, or honors? Are scholarships and financial assistance available? Columbus State University has always been one of the most affordable colleges in Georgia. Now it's also one of the fastest growing. When you ask the right questions, you'll find out why CSU should be
Flagler on top at the first media timeout, 14-8.
Well, Flagler's really owned this game basically from the tip. They're shooting 7 of 15 from the field, and their big post player, Pierce, she's 3 of 6 and also has 7 rebounds already. Very impressive.
Boy, 7 rebounds this early in the game.
Well, she's on pace for 30.
I don't know. I don't do math. That's why I have this job, but that's why I have you. One of the reasons I have you beside me, you're a math genius.
Well, I wonder what the record for rebounds in a game, in a women's game in the Peach Belt is. Because I'll tell you what, Pierce is just grabbing them all right now. 4 of those 7 offensive.
All right, so the Saints will get it with 18 seconds on the shot clock coming back in from the media timeout. We knocked the ball out again. Still belongs to Flagler. And looking, getting it in now, mid-post in the paint, putting the shot up, and it's blocked out of bounds by CSU's Arian Dozier.
Arian just in the game, making a nice defensive play.
Journey Smith is also checked in during that media timeout. They get the ball into Crane up top. Crane falls to the floor, turnover, and Dozier comes away with it. Arian rumbling down the lane, put the shot up short, and Flagler got the rebound. So the Saints come back the other way. Into the front court. Dozier knocks the ball away and off of Wade, and out of bounds, turnover.
Well, nice play by Arian Dozier. And the one thing about this game is the refs are letting the contact go. You're seeing the little bumps not being called, so you need to prepare yourself accordingly.
You just have to know how they're going to call the game, don't you?
Absolutely.
Dawkins up top, Journey Smith. Down the left side of the lane, put the shot up short, and there's another rebound by Pierce.
And she's just grabbing everything. And a little more contact we saw there, no call.
Kiara Crane into the front court, and a blocking foul on Journey Smith as Mathis hit the floor.
I had to call that one. That was a hit check there by Journey Smith.
All right. Looking to get it in, and Ebo stole the inbounds pass. Ebo was ahead of the field, and she lays it up and in.
Nice anticipation that time by Ebo getting the steal.
A little pressure in the back court. They get it into the front court all right with Mathis. She'll take the baseline jumper and miss it. Backside rebound tipped out to Pierce. Drives, scores, and she's fouled.
Well, Pierce is having some kind of game. She comes in averaging just under 12 points a game, and she already has 8.
And she didn't grab that rebound that time. It was tipped out to her by a teammate, but she made it pay off in a three-point play as she hits the free throw.
And her post partner, Raven Wade, tipped it to her.
17-10, Flagler on top here with 1:56 left in the first quarter. Lee Williamson hands it off to Journey Smith. Journey gets it to Ebony Williams, head of the key. Ebo jumper inside of the arc, no good, and there is Pierce with another rebound.
When that ball goes up on that rim, she is immediately going after it.
It's like a video game rebounding effort here.
It really is. I mean, she's just been very impressive early.
Crane, head of the key, gets it a drive in and missed the shot, but drew the foul, and Wade will go to the line to shoot a couple here.
The way Flagler has played here early, it's really hard to believe they're 4-8. They do not look like a 4-8 basketball team.
And the free throw is up and good by Wade. They're on a two-city road trip. They played at Aiken on Wednesday night and lost a close one, 60-58. The free throw is good. And there, Flagler is up 19-10. All right, into the front court, Journey Smith. Ebo behind the arc on the left side. Ebo, head of the key, bad pass, it's stolen. Into the front court, off the glass, missed the layup though, and the rebound goes to CSU. Boyd missed the layup. Here is Lee Williamson back the other way. She drew the foul in the lane, and she will go to the line to shoot 2.
Well, once Lee got across half court, there was a little question that she was going all the way to the rim, and that time she did draw some contact.
And so the foul was on Wade, and Lee will go to the line with 1:08 to play in the first quarter here. I want to thank the Sports Information Director at Flagler, John Jordan, for sending me some info, rosters and whatnot on his team. John's a good guy and does a great job down at Flagler. I appreciate it, John. The free throw by Lee is good.
Well, after that, he might take you out to dinner when you visit Flagler down there, get some good seafood.
Yeah, he's a good guy. The free throw is no good, and it's knocked out of bounds and going to belong to Flagler.
I know Flagler always probably your favorite trip in the Peach Belt.
Yeah, no question. My favorite road game because I love history, and St. Augustine is fantastic with that. And if it ever works out, then they just threw the ball right to Lee Williamson. Lee back the other way, a drive, and put the layup up short, hit the underside of the rim, and Flagler comes away with it. Boyd into the front court. And we stop the ball, so she brings it back up top between the circles with 40 seconds left in the first quarter. Boyd kicks it over to Mathis. Baseline drive. Shot is up long, no good. Ebo backside rebound. Arian Dozier. Lee Williamson. Journey Smith. Layup good. Great transition bucket there.
Yeah, good call. Great execution. Great unselfishness from Lee Williamson getting it to Journey Smith. And nice lay-in. First basket for Journey.
19-13 Flagler. 12 seconds left in the first quarter. Shot clock is off. Boyd on the wing with 6 seconds. Boyd with 5 seconds. No good. Dawkins rebound, 1 second. Lee's shot will not count as it was in her hands when the buzzer sounded. And that's the way the first quarter ends with Flagler leading Columbus State in the women's game 19-13. We'll be back for the second quarter here on Cougar Sports TV.
There are over 480,000 college athletes. Only 2% would go pro. That means over 470,000 will not get a shoe contract. No autographs. No private jets. No fan clubs. No Hall of Fame inductions. Instead, they will walk away with something much more valuable.
After one here at Herbert Green Court in the Lumpkin Center, 19-13, Flagler on top.
And CSU really fortunate to be only down 6. They did not shoot the ball very well in that first quarter, only 6 of 19. And really the story in that first quarter was, in Maya Pierce for Flagler, who finished the quarter with 9 points and 10 rebounds. So an incredibly impressive performance by Pierce from Flagler.
Almost a double-double in quarter number 1. So we'll see what the Lady Cougars do to counter that. CSU with the ball first here. Lee Williamson into the paint. Her shot is blocked. She's fighting to save it, and she does. Great hustle by Lee. Journey Smith gets it behind the arc on the left side. She'll take a 3 and miss it. Then a long rebound. Arian Dozier fought for it and saved it to Ebo. And then it's knocked away and loose and out of bounds and belongs to Flagler.
Yeah, CSU shots just not falling. They look a bit disjointed at the moment.
You know, the effort was there on that possession, but just could not corral anything and get anything going.
And the way this game's being called, really not in CSU's favor. They're letting a lot of contact go, and forcing CSU to make shots.
Boyd turned it over to Ebo. Ebo to Lee Williamson ahead of the field. Layup good.
Well, Lee Williamson not going to miss that one, and a turnover by Flagler leads to an easy Cougar basket.
19-15. Flagler with the lead. 1 minute into the quarter. Boyd almost dropped the pass out of bounds, but she saved it right in front of the CSU bench. Behind the arc on the right side for three. No good. And Dozier with a great rebound. Tipped it to herself, and then the outlet pass to Journey Smith. Good job by Arian Dozier. Fruit. Journey Smith head of the key. Dozier up top. Ebo in the key. Dawkins head of the key and passing down to Dozier, and she's being held down there on the low block by Frame.
Nice look that time by Dawkins, finding Dozier in the post.
And that's one of the things that we've discovered that Dawkins does really well, is that post-to-post passing.
Yeah, it was a very nice feed, post feed that time.
All right, we get the ball into Dawkins, low block. She dribbles into the paint, off the glass. Good, great job there.
Yeah, really nice job. Just took an extra dribble there. Nice spin move in the lane. 2-point game.
8:20 left here in the second quarter. On a day in Columbus where we've got some rain moving in. We've got a lot of rain here. A spin in the lane, and the shot is up and good by Wade.
A really nice move by Wade. She spun and used the left hand that time.
We get the ball back to Arian Dozier off the glass in the paint. No, but she fought and got her own rebound. Ended up being a held ball, and the arrow belongs to the Saints. We've got back-to-back home games, which is an oddity so far in the Peach Belt for us. Augusta comes into Herbert Green Court at the Lumpkin Center. Martin Luther King Jr. Day on Monday, and it's afternoon games. Head of the key for three and an air ball out of bounds by Crane. So make note of that. Normally weekday games are at night, of course, but holiday on Monday. The women at 1:30. The men at 3:30 against Augusta here in the Lumpkin Center at Herbert Green Court. All right, Lady Cougars with it. Boston mid-post right side and traveled with the ball.
It's a really nice job by Wade for Flagler, holding her ground and not giving any space to Chris Boston, forcing a travel.
All right, Boyd into the front court. Boyd behind the arc on the left side, up top at the head of the key. Kicks it out on the wing. Up high again in the key. Spinning just inside the free throw line and drawing the foul. And going to the line to shoot two will be Wade.
I'm sure Coach Hauser will have a word with Chris Boston there. A bad foul that time. Wade not going to make that shot most of the time. And Chris Boston hitting her on the arm.
And Pierce checking back in for the Saints. Coach Matt Hauser in his first season. His assistants, graduate assistant Abby Goodsell. And the free throw is no good by Wade. And student assistant coach Michaela Raymondville, former CSU player. She transferred in here as a senior, and boy, did she have a great year. Free throw is no good. Missed them both. Rebound CSU. Here's Lee Williamson driving into the paint, off the glass. Oh, in and out, no good. Dozier fighting for a rebound and got it. And another held ball, and it belongs to CSU.
Well, I'll say this for the refs, they are consistent. There was some contact there again with Lee Williamson, and no call. It's going to have to be tough when you go to the rim.
All right, Ebo, and there's a foul before the ball is inbounded on Flagler.
And they got Pierce that time. She just flat out ran over Lee Williamson.
All right, Ebo baseline, left of the basket, looking to get it in, and she does to Lee. Lee behind the arc on the left side, just inside the arc for a long two. No, and there's Pierce with another rebound. Into the front court, Boyd. Boyd kicks it out on the wing to Miller. Stacy Miller between the circles. Up top, Boyd, head of the key. Miller puts it on the floor. Pierce, jumper, short. Rebound, Boston. Outlet to Lee Williamson. Lee into the front court. Head of the key for three. No, and the rebound goes to the Saints and Miller. She runs it up the middle of the floor. All the way off the glass. Good. Nobody stopped the ball. Coach Matt Hauser wants a 30-second timeout. And it'll turn into the media timeout. And we'll take the break with Flagler up 23-17 with 6:25 to play in the second quarter on Cougar Sports TV.
I knew that there was an opportunity to have my college paid for if I was good enough to play baseball at that level. That was going to make a big difference in my family. D2 baseball gave me an opportunity to play at a high level and to get an education that's going to be valuable for me throughout the rest of my life. I chose to take my experience of being a student athlete and pursue that within my career and to get a master's degree. If I wouldn't have had a baseball scholarship, there'd be no chance that I'm doing what I'm doing today.
So Coach Hauser calling the timeout at the 6:25 mark with CSU trailing 23-17 here in the second quarter. And he told them the same thing I said, got to stop the ball.
He came off the bench screaming at Journey Smith to stop the ball. And, you don't see Coach Hauser get angry like that very often, but he was very upset, called the timeout. And I'm sure Journey got the message.
It was a good time to make a coaching point, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
All right, Val Merlos has checked into the game, and her pass to Chris Boston is through her hands and out of bounds.
A little too much heat on that pass and a little high for Chris Boston.
So Val Merlos, the three-point shooter out of Barcelona, Spain. Let's see if we can get her some shots here. Flagler with it. Pass intended for Pierce, knocked away by Boston into the hands of Kayla Carter. Kayla picks it up. Dawkins knocked out of her hands and out of bounds, and touched last by Dawkins.
One of the things Flagler has done very, very well in this game is get back on defense. And CSU just not getting a lot in transition, and that's what they like to do. So Flagler doing a good job, and they have a 6-point lead.
All right, into the front court between the circles is Crane. Crane kicks it out on the wing. Miller for three. No. Backside rebound, Boyd. Her pass goes through the hands of Wade, and CSU picks it up. Kayla Carter. Merlos for three. Yes!
Well, that was a great look by Kayla Carter. We've become accustomed to that. She always has her head up looking for her teammates. Found Marilos, and 3 points for CSU.
And good start for Val. Maybe she can get on a streak. That shot is up and deflected out of bounds by CSU.
And three-point shooters love to get them in transition. And it was a beautiful pass, a beautiful catch, and more times than not, she's going to make those.
All right, the Saints get the ball in. They kick it on the wing for three. Short. Boston with a rebound. Out to Lee Williamson. Williamson with the defender on her shoulder. Off the glass, no, but she drew the foul and will go to the line to shoot two.
Nice job by Lee that time. Really dropping that shoulder, creating a little contact there, and she'll get to the line.
Well, she knew she was going to have contact, and she knew the way this game had been called that she had to go strong because of that.
Yeah, and she certainly sold it a little bit, and she's going to be rewarded with a couple free throws.
All right, Leasia Williamson. Free throw is good. She's got 8 points this afternoon, 23-21 Flagler now. Lee's a junior out of Greensboro, North Carolina. Missed that one, and a nice job of blocking out and getting the rebound by Crane. Flagler, front court. Boyd, head of the key. They spin it to Miller. They get it to Wade. Spins, puts a shot up, no. She's fouled. She'll go to the line to shoot two.
CSU went zone that possession. Nice job by Flagler. Good ball movement. I didn't see a whole lot of contact there. I think Chris Boston has a look of bewilderment on her face.
And that's 2 on her. And the free throw by Wade is good, 24-21.
And Chris Boston almost looks like, hey, if I knew you were going to call it, I got my money's worth there. Just wasn't much there, but she'll have to go to the bench.
The second one is good, 25-21. Yeah, Chris is upset that she's having to come out of the game, but she does have 2 fouls halfway through the second quarter, so she'll get back in there. All right, Kayla Carter, Ajane Dawkins head of the key. Lee Williamson pass, and hitting the floor hard. And a foul on Flagler on that entry pass into the paint. And up and okay is Toxiana Wilson. Toxie has felt better, but she's okay.
Yeah, that was one of those, you heard it when she hit the floor. I mean, it was a...
We get the ball in the Toxie on the inbounds play. She's fouled and will go to the line to shoot 2. Good inbounds pass by Val Merlos.
A really nice inbounds play, and I guess the referees decided to take the first quarter off, and they've come to work all of a sudden, Scott. We're getting some whistles here in the second quarter.
So Toxie will go to the line. The senior out of Columbus here, and the free throw is good. 25-22 Flagler. And that one's perfect. Toxie hit them both.
They're very nice. Neither one of them even hit the rim.
Your kind of free throws.
Absolutely.
25-23. Flagler's lead is down to 2. Boyd having trouble. It's loose. Picked up by Lee. She fumbled it, but she got it back. Kicks it on the wing. Intended for Merlos, but knocked out of bounds by Flagler.
Oh, good thought that time by Lee. They always look for Merlos out beyond the arc, but good defense by Flagler.
Merlos on the baseline, getting it into Lee, puts it on the floor, drives into the paint. Her shot is blocked from behind. Toxie got it, put it up and scored.
Well, Chris Boston goes to the bench with 2 fouls. Toxie Wilson comes in and gets 4 quick points.
And that ties the game at 25 with 4 minutes left here in the second quarter. Herbert Green Court, Lumpkin Center. Boyd a jumper short, and a rebounding foul on the backside on CSU.
That time, Scout Frame for Flagler got inside position on Merlos and forced Merlos to foul her.
Boyd baseline to the right of her basket. Long pass in up top to Crane. Crane in front of our bench. Miller at the head of the key. Boyd along to left side, good.
Boy, that was a weird looking shot. Had some side spin on it, but it went in.
And the Saints back up by 2. Merlos for 3. Shot that one long. Air ball on the weak side into the hands of Boyd. 2-on-2. We stop the ball. They kick it into the corner. Dribbles inside a defender. Shot is good by Crane.
That was a nice play by Crane. A little shot fake, 1 dribble, and knocked it in from about 15 feet.
So 4 quick ones for the Saints, and they're back on top, and the pass is off the hands of Kayla Carter and out of bounds.
That's just an unforced error there by CSU. Just your basic pass to the wing, and Kayla took her eye off the ball.
Lee Williamson out for a breather, and Journey Smith checks in. Arian Dozier goes to the scorer's table. Didn't get there in time to get in. Have to wait till the next dead ball. Boyd behind the arc, 29-25. Saints with the lead. 3 minutes left in the second quarter. There's Miller for 3. No. Backside rebound, Journey Smith. Journey into the front court. Journey gets it to Merlos, puts it on the floor. Entry pass is knocked away. Pierce comes away with a loose ball. Pierce, and the ball is knocked out of her hands and out of bounds, but still belongs to Flagler.
Don't see that very often. Pierce, the big post player for Flagler, dribbling from one end to the other. That's usually how it ends, too,
Yes.
with a turnover or somebody knocking it out of bounds.
Usually if your post player's bringing it up, you're going, oh, give it up, give it up. Behind the arc, Crane. There's Pierce posting up on Dawkins. Put it up short, but drew the foul, and will go to the line to shoot 2.
Pierce continuing her good play. That was a really nice post move, and she is hard to guard when she gets the ball down on the low block.
She had a fantastic first quarter, been very quiet here in this second quarter. The free throw is good.
And they did not start her in the second quarter, giving her a little extra rest. She had certainly earned it after her first quarter play.
And 9 points and 10 rebounds in that first quarter. The second free throw is no good. Anjane grabs a rebound. Aj, the outlet pass to Journey Smith. A drive, the shot is up, no, but she drew the foul, and she'll go to the line to shoot 2.
Yeah, good strong move that time by Journey. There was clearly some contact there.
Jazzy Mathis with the foul, so Journey will go to the line. The sophomore out of Newton High School in Covington, Georgia. And the free throw is no good long. Covington, Georgia, right off of I-20 between Atlanta and Augusta. Almost the home territory for me. Not quite. Free throw is good. 30-26. Flagler on top. Miller inside of the arc. And Toxie took it away from her. Toxiana Wilson, good job. Just took it away from her, and then they fouled her.
Yeah, good defense by CSU. Very poor play by Miller. She appears to be Flagler's designated three-point shooter, and that time she decided to put it on the floor, and the results were not good.
The bonus for CSU. CSU has committed one less than the bonus, so the next foul on the Lady Cougars will put both sides in the bonus here in the second quarter. Free throw by Toxie is good.
And that's 3 in a row that have not hit the rim from Toxie. Boy, she's played well off the bench, 5 points.
30-27, and another perfect one. 30-28. You ought to get like a half point, right?
I'm telling you, those free throws have looked really good by Toxie.
You don't hit anything but net. A drive and a layup good by Mathis.
And another, that's just too easy. Nobody stopping the ball. Easy basket for Flagler.
32-28, and offensive foul on Toxiana Wilson away from the ball.
That's a good call. Toxie moving that time, trying to set a screen. You have to keep your feet set, and the ref's all over that call.
1:49 to play in the first half here of the women's game. Flagler up 32-28 here in Columbus. Mathis headed the key and traveled with it.
And CSU remains in that zone, and it's really giving Flagler some problems. CSU doing a nice job moving around.
Toxie gets it into Journey Smith. Journey into the front court. Off of a screen, drives down the lane, off the glass short. There's Pierce with a rebound. Dozier just took it away from her, though, but Arian stepped on the baseline after she ripped it out of her hands.
Yeah, nice hustle that time by Dozier. She just ran out of real estate down there on the baseline. And that was one of those plays by Journey, Scott, that you've often called where you say, did everything right, but make the shot. Beautiful move, just didn't finish.
Everything right, but the only thing that counts. There is Crane behind the arc on the right side, picks up the dribble. Mathis to the low block and a travel. Good defense by Ajane Dawkins from behind on Pierce.
Yeah, very good defense. And Pierce, as I mentioned earlier, hard to guard down there, but Dawkins getting the job done that time.
All right, Journey into the front court. 1 minute left in the quarter. Picks up the dribble in the key. There's Toxie at the elbow. Journey head of the key for three. Going off the front of the rim, off the glass and in.
Well, perfectly called. That ball hit the front of the rim and just had the right spin, put it up there very soft and went in.
CSU within one with 41 seconds left in the half. Pierce driving off the glass. Good. And a foul.
That was just a nice individual play by Pierce, and we've seen a lot of those from her in this game. She now has 12 points. Very impressive half for Pierce. You don't often see a double-double in one half of play, and that's exactly what she's done.
And she'll go to the line to try to complete the three-point play the old-fashioned way. She does not. And the rebound goes to Dawkins. 33 seconds left in the first half. About 7 less than that on the shot clock. CSU is down by 3 with the ball. 15 on the shot clock, 7 more on the game clock, but I'll give you the shot clock. 10. Journey with 8. Journey at the right elbow. 5. Drives, put it up, no. There's Toxie with a rebound off the glass, good, with 7 seconds. 34-33, Flagler, 2 seconds into the front court. Miller, a long 3, short. And that'll get us to the half, and a really good half for Toxiana Wilson, and she capped it off with that big rebound and the stick back in the bucket.
Just the way you wanted to see the half end if you're CSU, and you're right. Boy, Toxie came off that bench. You never know when your number's going to be called. They called Toxie's number. She answered the bell with 8 points in the first half.
All right, we'll be back after a short break here, and we'll talk with Coach Robert Moore here at the half about the men's game coming up, and then Mike will have a look at the stats. This is Cougar Sports TV.
As kids fall in love with sports, our universities are working every day to keep college sports safe, so you can watch them play with a little less worry and a little more joy.
As Division II student athletes, we are committed to being our best.
Division II National SAC is proud to partner with the Sports Science Institute to play a role in the cardiac safety and health of student athletes.
Although many student athletes with heart conditions live healthy, active lives, up to 10 NCAA student athletes die each year of sudden cardiac death during athletic activities.
The facts are that immediate delivery of CPR and AED saves.
Scott Miller back at Herbert Green Court inside the Lumpkin Center, and I'm joined here at courtside by my friend and the Cougar coach, Robert Moore, as the Cougars get set to take on Flagler here today. And Robert, we're trying to bounce back from a tough night, a loss on the road on Wednesday.
Yeah, and I just hope my guys understand that every game is important in the Peach Belt. I thought we didn't bring our A game, as you would say, for North Georgia. But I think the guys understand that now, that, hey, every game is important now. You got to find a way to beat Flagler at home.
Well, Flagler comes in here, and they're bunched right with us in the league, and they've got some weapons, don't they?
Oh, yeah. You talk about Jetty, averages 19 points a game in the league, 9 rebounds. He's a guy we can't let him get a lot of touches. They got Brown, Demerit Brown, that can score it. They got a lot of guys that can score, Scott. So the main thing tonight is going to be defense. If we can guard the three-point line, I like our chances.
Well, and the defense is the thing to point out. I thought on Wednesday night, because our offense had an off night, that affected our defense, and that normally doesn't happen, and it can't happen.
Yeah,
really.
It can't happen, and like you said, it normally don't happen, but I thought Wednesday night at North Georgia, we saw some shots when falling, and we stopped guarding. And you can't do that. You got to be able to guard no matter if shots going or not. But I think the way Flagler plays, our guys like this type of tempo. So I'm looking to come out with a lot of excitement and intensity.
Well, and certainly you have to protect the home court here in the Peach Belt.
Oh, yeah, these two games against Flagler and Monday, Augusta are big games for us, and we got to find a way to win both.
All right, Robert, good luck.
All right, thanks, Scott.
All right, that's Coach Robert Moore here on Cougar Sports TV. We'll take another short break, and we'll come back and give you the first half stats here at the half with the Flagler leading 34-33. All right, back here at Herbert Green Court with the Lady Cougars trailing Flagler by 1, and Mike has the first half stats.
Yeah, we'll start with Flagler in the first half. Flagler shot 14 of 36 from the floor, 38.9%. They were 0 of 6 from three-point range, 6 of 10 from the free throw line. They were led in scoring by their impressive post player in Maya Pierce. She had 12 points to go with 11 rebounds. Very impressive. Jazzy Mathis added 6. Raven Wade had 8. Stacy Miller with 2. Kiara Crane with 4. And Ivana Boyd closed out the scoring for Flagler with 2 points. For CSU in the first half, a tough shooting half for CSU. 12 of 35 from the field, 34.3%. They were 2 of 7 from three-point range, 7 of 10 at the free throw line. CSU led in scoring by Lieza Williamson and Taxiana Wilson, both with 8 points. Taxiana Wilson coming off the bench to get her 8. Ebony Williams had 4. Ajuana Dawkins with 4. Journey Smith with 6. And Valeria Marilos came off the bench to hit 1 3. She had 3 points. So at the half, Flagler leads 34-33 over CSU.
All right, we appreciate you tuning in and watching Cougar Sports TV, and we're going to take a few minutes off now. We'll step away, and we will come back shortly for the start of the second half, again with the Flagler women up 34-33 here on Cougar Sports TV.
Choosing the right college can be a challenge. Does it offer degrees suited to your career goals? Are emerging fields of study more your interest, like cybersecurity, gaming, or environmental science? What about extracurricular activities, such as campus life, study abroad, or honors? Are scholarships and financial assistance available? Columbus State University has always been one of the most affordable colleges in Georgia. Now it's also one of the fastest growing. When you ask the right questions, you'll find out why CSU should be.
There are over 480,000 college athletes. Only 2% will go pro. That means over 470,000 will not get a shoe contract. No autographs. No private jets. No fan clubs. No Hall of Fame inductions. Instead, they will walk away with something much more valuable.
I knew that there was an opportunity to have my college paid for if I was good enough to play baseball at that level. That was going to make a big difference in my family D2 baseball gave me an opportunity to play at a high level and to get an education that's going to be valuable for me throughout the rest of my life. I chose to take my experience of being a student athlete and pursue that within my career and to get a master's degree. If I wouldn't have had a baseball scholarship, there'd be no chance that I'm doing what I'm doing today.
Don't you worry, my child. Everything's gonna be just fine. Little darling, you keep on walking, 'cause I ain't never gonna leave your side.
As kids fall in love with sports, our universities are working every day to keep college sports safe, so you can watch them play with a little less worry and a little more joy.
As Division II student athletes, we are committed to being our best.
Division II National SAC is proud to partner with the Sports Science Institute to play a role in the cardiac safety and health of student athletes.
Although many student athletes with heart conditions live healthy, active lives, up to 10 NCAA student athletes die each year of sudden cardiac death during athletic activities.
The facts are that immediate delivery of CPR and AED saves lives, so everyone should be CPR and AED trained. Please join us in this important initiative. Make it yours.
It's not about where you were born. It's not about your gender or the color of your skin, or whether you're rich, poor, or in the middle. No matter what you play, if you have the skill and drive to succeed in school and in sports, we'll provide the opportunity.
The American dream to me as an immigrant means having the opportunities that my parents didn't have. Being the first one in my family to graduate, it meant everything my parents sacrificed for me to get to this point. It was paying off.
Estoy muy orgulloso de Michael por haberse graduado de colegio.
My path to a college degree would have been completely different had I not had a scholarship. It would just relieved a lot of the financial burden.
These are your teams, your players, your community of fans. This is where they play, where they practice, where you cheer. At every meet, every event, every game. Your community is passionate, dedicated, supportive. You know the tension of a close game and the thrill of the win. So while you're cheering, keep an eye out for anything out of the ordinary. If you see something suspicious, say something to local authorities.
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create, and the question isn't, can you do it? It's will you?
We can stop to make sure someone is okay, get in the way, and disrupt the situation.
Codify an authority.
Or walk them home safely.
We can change the language around rape.
We can make campuses safer for our teammates, our friends, and our classmates.
We cannot be bystanders.
Taking action isn't always easy, but it's on us
to intervene.
Because we can. Learn more and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Opportunity to me means doing the things that will make you a better future. I always dreamed of graduating from college. So being the first one in my family to graduate, it meant everything my parents sacrificed was paying off. Having an athletic scholarship for the University of Mount Olive was key for my success. I had the opportunity to not only get an education, but be able to develop as an individual.
Scott Miller, Mike Sanda here at Herbert Green Court inside the Lumpkin Center in Columbus, Georgia at Columbus State. We're getting set for the second half of the women's game with Flagler on top, 34-33. Mike, what do the Lady Cougars have to do to turn this around in the second half?
I think it's pretty simple. They have to shoot it better. I mean, 12 of 35 on your own court is just not going to get it done. Now, Flagler really cooled off in that second quarter. They only shot 14 of 36, but bottom line is you have to make shots. And you look at Lee Williamson in that first quarter, 3 of 12. Really have to get her going. And like I said, pretty simple. Make some shots.
All right. Flagler will have the ball first here. The men's game will follow about 25 minutes after the conclusion of this game, and you can see that on Cougar Sports TV as well. And a reminder that for going forward for this season, for the road games, you can still hear the games. I'll be on the road as usual with the teams, and you'll hear the audio-only broadcast right here on Cougar Sports TV. So the same place, the one-stop shop for the video at home and the audio on the road. All right, here we go, underway in the second half, and the Saints with the ball. Head of the key, Boyd, just inside the free throw line, kicks it back, jumper in the paint is no good. Lee Williamson with a rebound, and Pierce over the back with the foul.
Well, pretty interesting there from Flagler. Scout Frame did not take a shot in that first half, and they went right to her on the first possession. Pretty interesting.
And put it up just inside the free throw line and came up empty. All right, CSU with a chance to take a lead here with the ball. There's back into the hands of Boyd. 2-on-1, and they throw it away. Bounced it over the Scout Frame, and she couldn't handle it.
A very ugly start to this third quarter. Neither team getting very much done on the offensive end. Flagler has not scored yet here in the second half.
All right, into the front court. Lee gets it up top, Dawkins. Kayla Carter, Boston. Post up, mid-post, spins inside, shot is up, no, but drew the foul and will go to the line to shoot two.
Coach Hauser with a clap over there on the bench, continuing to feed the post, and that time Chris Boston drawing a little bit of contact.
So Crystal and Boston, junior out of Winston-Salem, North Carolina. They play a little basketball in that area, don't they?
Yes, they do. A lot of very, very good basketball players coming from that area.
Free throw is good, 37 to 34. Next one good. So a 4-point lead for the Lady Cougars. Flagler gets the ball into the front court. Boyd near the logo. Behind the arc on the right side. And Ebony Williams, a little hand check foul there. Boy, it's very different than the way it was called in the first quarter, isn't it?
It really is. That wasn't even close to a foul in the first quarter. We saw a lot of contact. The refs have really tightened things up.
And get the ball into Scout Frame. And that's always been one of my pet peeves. I got a long list of them, but Mathis up top is when they not consistent with the way they call the game throughout. Frame jumper, no good, short rebound. Lee Williamson. Lee's going to run it into the front court. Lee into the paint, and no good, and the rebound goes to the Saints.
And Lee's tough day continues. Just cannot get the ball to go in the basket.
Mathis behind the arc. Gets it back. Baseline drive, and a little runner is no good. And Boston got the rebound. And Ebony Williams into the front court. Ebo between the circles. CSU up by 4. 4:48 left in the third quarter. Dawkins shot up, no good. Rebound kicked out, and Aj got it back. Kicks it out to Lee. 4-3, no, and the rebound goes to Mathis. She hesitated, didn't she, Mike?
She did. That was big. I picked up the same thing.
Back the other way, shot is up, no good, but it's deflected right in the hands of Boyd, and then Ebo blocked the shot. Ebony with a good play into the front court. Ebo up top, Aj kicks it over to Lee and missed the three, and the rebound goes to the Saints, and a foul on Kayla Carter.
That's 2 good looks in a row from Lee. She's just having a tough day. And when you're struggling like this, it's a good idea to try to get to the basket and just to see one go in or even get to the free throw line. But Lee's struggles continue. And you mentioned the officiating, Scott. I agree with you. I think the thing that the coaches, players look for is consistency. So you're right on the money there. Just call it the same way so, as you mentioned, the players can adjust to it.
All right, Saints getting it to Frame at the left elbow. Boyd up top. Kicks it over to Miller. To Frame, and she's fouled in the lane.
Flagler struggling also. They have yet to score, and there's 3:50 to go in this quarter.
CSU has outscored them 5-0, and that'll get us to a media timeout. 3:50 to play in the third quarter. CSU up by 4 here on Cougar Sports TV. Lady Cougars pitching a shutout here in the third quarter, leading by 4.
And if it was 1 minute in, you know, no big deal, but we're sitting here at 3:50 to go in the third quarter, and give CSU some credit. They are certainly defending well, but Flagler really struggling on offense with their post player Pierce sitting over there on the bench with those 3 fouls. And the bad thing is CSU's had a chance to stretch this thing out, still a 4-point game.
Yeah, just a 5-0 run for CSU to start the half. And Flagler will get it back. CSU was down by 1 starting the third quarter. There's Miller behind the arc, puts it on the floor, drives to the bucket, and Boston got a hand on it. Shot no good. Journey Smith comes away. Journey driving the baseline and drew the foul, and will go to the line to shoot 2.
That was one of those, hey, look what I found. Nobody's guarding me. And Journey Smith going all the way to the basket.
And Journey will go to the line. And the first one is good.
Yeah, very poor defense that time by Flagler. Journey taking advantage.
And this one is no good. And the rebound goes to Flagler. Saints into the front court. Up top, Boyd. Boyd had it stolen, knocked away by Journey Smith. Journey going back, and Boyd blocked her shot into the hands of Frame. Frame to the baseline, gets it to Crane, blocked by Ebony Williams, into the hands of Kayla Carter. Kayla all the way off the glass, missed it. Flagler with the rebound. They come back the other way. That's Banks going, and a whistle and a foul on Journey Smith as they collided and both hit the floor.
Yeah, both hit the floor pretty hard that time. I believe that is going to put Flagler in the bonus. So they'll have a chance to pick up their very first point here of the third quarter.
CSU has outscored them 6-0. 2:56 left in the quarter. CSU scored the final 2 points of the first half, so on a 8-0 run overall. Free throws no good.
Yeah, not even close. After watching that, I would certainly be a ready rebounder on this one.
And Banks goes back to the line, and this one is no good. Wide left. Rebound Boston. So the shutout is still intact. 39-34 CSU. 2:47 left in the third quarter. And almost threw the ball away, but Journey saved it. Back to Ebo. Journey up top. Puts it on the floor to Ebo. Ebo in the paint. Gets a shot off the glass. Good. And she's fouled. Count the bucket.
Well, one of the toughest shots we've seen in this quarter manages to go in. We've seen a ton of missed layups, a ton of shots around the basket missed, a lot of shots blocked, but that one a very difficult shot, and Ebo used the glass and has a chance for a three-point play.
CSU on an 8-0 run in this quarter, 10-0 run overall going back to the second quarter. The free throw is good, so tack another one on to those numbers. Flagler gets the ball in the backcourt. Gets it to Miller. Miller jumper off the glass, no. Rebound Boston. And Journey Smith into the front court. 2:19 to play in the third quarter. Flagler has yet to score. CSU 9-0 run in this quarter. Boston low block off the glass. Good, man, that was nice.
Really was.
And a whistle and a foul as Journey Smith stepped in.
And that looked an awful lot like a jump ball. And Coach Hauser not going to get him to overturn the call, but going to argue it anyway. Not a good call that time by the officials.
Looked like she had tied it up cleanly. Instead, got called for the foul, so Boyd will go to the line with a chance at the 2:05 mark to score Flagler's first point of the quarter. She does not, as she misses the free throw. And the second one is on the way, and that one is good. And the goose egg is off the board, 44-35 CSU. But Flagler still without a field goal in this third quarter. Journey Smith to Boston. Low block. They double her. She kicks it back out to Journey on the wing. Journey between the circles. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Arian Dozier right wing. There's Kayla Carter driving to the baseline. Contact, no foul. Threw it away. Crane back the other way. Crane pulls up outside the lane and scores.
Well, look out. They're hot. 3 straight points for Flagler.
There's Kayla Carter for 3. No good. Rebound Saints. 44-37 CSU. 1:17 to play in the third quarter. And Pierce is fouled from behind by Dawkins.
Yeah, just a reach foul there on Dawkins. That sends Pierce to the line. It's amazing you can go almost 8 minutes without a point and still be in a basketball game. But Flagler right in this one, only down 7.
And that's 3 fouls on Aj. And the free throw is no good by Pierce. They've missed a bunch of free throws. And that one is good. 44-38 CSU. And Boyd hitting the floor. Val Merlot's left wing, looked at it, couldn't get the shot off. We'll get it back to Journey. Back to Val, a long 3, no. Rebound, Dawkins fighting hard for it, but knocked it out of bounds.
That's not necessarily a bad shot from Merlos, but I tell you, Scott, today those shots are not going in, and CSU is really, their success has come from throwing that ball down into the post.
6-point CSU lead, Flagler with the ball, 49 seconds left in the third quarter. Boyd, right wing, picks up the dribble, needs some help, gets it to Pierce, fumbled it, picked it back up. Pierce now in the paint, drew the foul, will go to the line to shoot two.
Yeah, Chris Boston pleading with the officials. And Pierce, a very nice move. She loves to go to her left when she's in that post.
That is 3 fouls on Chris. The free throw is good. 44-39. And that one is no good, and Boston with a rebound. 34 seconds left in the third quarter. CSU up by 5. 10 was the biggest lead just a moment ago. Dozier. High pass, too high, intended for Dawkins, down on the low block and threw it away.
And Flagler in that 2-3 zone, forcing CSU to shoot from the perimeter, and just a very, very poor pass. So really Flagler with a chance to get it down to 2 or 3 with a basket here.
All right, Crane into the front court. 19 seconds left in the third quarter. The shot clock is off. Bryant in the game for the first time. Gets it back to Crane. 11 behind the arc. Miller for 3. Shot it long. Backside rebounds Dawkins. 6 seconds. Got to hurry. Journey Smith, 3 seconds. 2. It's good if it goes, but it will not. Off the top of the backboard, and that's how the third quarter ends with Columbus State on top, 44-39. We'll be back with the fourth quarter coming up on Cougar Sports TV.
While they're focused on success, we're focused on them. Because protecting college athletes doesn't only happen on the field. After the buzzer, it's about healthier student athletes. So we're reforming to meet their needs, investing in groundbreaking research, and changing the conversation around mental health. We're working hard to protect college athletes because prioritizing their well-being creates a pathway to a lifetime of opportunity.
We get set to head to the fourth quarter with CSU up 44-39.
Well, I mentioned at the outset of the second half that CSU needed to make some shots. They only made 3 in that third quarter, 3 of 15. But the good news is they outshot Flagler, who was 1 of 14 in the third quarter, and CSU loses by 5, and a very forgettable third quarter. Let's hope for better things here in the fourth. That was ugly.
That was, anytime you get an 11-5 quarter, there's not a lot of good things going on. All right, CSU with the ball first, and Aj will get it into the front court. Lee Williamson up top left side. Journey Smith. Val Merlos puts it on the floor, reverses it to Lee. Bounce pass to Boston baseline. Great pass inside the Dawkins. Turn around, missed it. And the rebound goes to Miller.
Yeah, good offense. Just have to finish the play.
That was a nice play and good ball movement. Just didn't make the shot. Free throw line. There's Pierce posting up in the middle of the lane, and she lost it, and it's picked up by Val Merlos.
That's good defense by CSU. As I mentioned, she loves to spin back to her left, and that time CSU was waiting for her.
Yeah, Chris Boston, nice job there. Pass is not a good one. Down on the low block, and a turnover. Crane back the other way. Will kick it. Get it back. And the jumper on the baseline, no good. There's Pierce with a rebound, and the reverse layup putback is no good. And the rebound, Boston. Into the front court, Lee Williamson. Journey Smith behind the arc for 3. No. And the rebound deflected into the hands of Crane. Crane into the front court. Gets it to Miller down in the left corner. Miller back up top to Boyd. Boyd Into the lane. The shot is up, no good by Wade. Deflected rebound to Miller. She puts the shot up. In and out, no good. Rebound CSU.
Unbelievable. I'm glad there's a shot clock because I think if there wasn't one, neither team would shoot.
I think there's a lid on both baskets here today. Boston, baseline, wide open off the glass. Dawkins, good. Great pass from Chris Boston.
Yeah, beautiful look from Chris Boston against that 2-3 zone. Nice cut by Dawkins. Got herself an easy basket.
46-39, Columbus State. 2 minutes into the fourth quarter. Miller behind the arc on the left side. Miller picks up the dribble, and the pass is kicked by CSU. And so Flagler will maintain it. 20 on the shot clock. Merlos, Journey Smith, and Dawkins out. Toxiana Wilson. Ebo is back in. And Kayla Carter.
It'd be nice to see Lee make a shot or two from the perimeter. She could really bust this game open with a couple threes.
All right, 46-39. CSU, 7:55 to play. Boyd, baseline, left of her basket. She throws it into the backcourt, and Mathis runs it down and gives it back to Boyd. Boyd behind the arc on the right side. Baseline drive, ball knocked out of bounds, and still belongs to the Saints. Nine on the shot clock. Wade, baseline right of the basket, gets it into Pierce, and she's fouled in the middle of the lane.
And the one player you don't want to leave alone would be Pierce. She has done most of the damage for Flagler here today, and she just kind of snuck in there, the defense not paying attention to her.
Foul was on Toxie. Free throw by Pierce is no good. She's just 4 of 8 at the line, and that one is good. 46-40, CSU, 7:38 to play. Ebo, jumper, good.
Very nice. Flagler tried a little three-quarter court pressure there, and Ebo found herself wide open, knocked it in.
CSU up by 8. Wade in the key down the right side of the lane off the glass, good.
That was a very nice move by Wade. That was good offensive possession for Flagler.
So the lead is 6 again for the Lady Cougars. Toxie in the key, Ebo, Boston, baseline jumper, no. Backside rebound, Flagler. Mathis kicks it out to Boyd. Boyd, we stop the ball on the baseline. She gets it back to Mathis. Lee hits the floor trying to get it. Knocked it away into the hands of Evo. Long pass. Lee runs it down. Leasia with a layup. Good.
Well, her easiest basket of the day. Flagler careless with the ball and a run out for Lee Williamson.
The lead is 8 for CSU. 6.5 minutes to play. Pierce, mid-post right side. Spins, can't get the shot off. Kicked it to Mathis in the corner. No. Backside rebound, Kayla. Good defense against Pierce again. Lee gets it to Toxie, mid-post right side. Shot it long off the glass on the weak side into the hands of Wade to Boyd. Boyd baseline, and she turned it over. Ebo, outlet pass, Lee Williamson off the glass, good again. And timeout, Flagler. So CSU's lead is up to 10 with 6:01 to play and a media timeout here on Cougar Sports TV.
Across divisions, sports, championships, and schools for nearly 500,000 student athletes. College sports create lifelong opportunity, and that starts with education. We've raised the academic bar, so more are earning degrees, creating healthier campuses by working with the nation's brightest minds, and making sure more have the chance to succeed and are supported on their journey. But beyond the numbers, It's about opportunity, and we're working to provide it for every student athlete.
So CSU has opened up a 10-point lead, 6:01 to play.
I was calling for a couple of Lee Williamson threes to bust the game open. It's actually been a couple of Lee Williamson twos on run-out breakaway plays to stretch this lead out to 10. And Lee Williamson has 12 points on the day, but it's come on 18 shots. It's really been a struggle for her again today. So still searching for her shot, but CSU in good shape, up 10.
Hey, fans, don't forget two-time Olympic softball pitcher and gold medalist Jenny Finch is coming to Columbus as the keynote speaker in the Girls in the Game luncheon. That's on March 26th, and you can go to our website, csucougars.com, follow the link, and you can reserve tickets for your table now to see Jenny Finch. Boyd back the other way. The shot off the glass is no good. Rebound CSU. Outlet pass to Ebo. Ebo kicks it to Lee. Lee back to Ebo between the circles. 5:44 to play. The lead is 10 for CSU. Ebo kicks it on the wing. Kayla will put it on the floor. Drive inside of the arc. Good pass inside to Boston off the glass. Oh, she missed it, and the rebound is knocked out of bounds by CSU.
And that cost Kayla Carter an assist. What a beautiful pass. So good with that left hand. We see it all the time. And another great pass, and Chris Boston just did not finish the play.
All right, so Flagler with the ball. They're down by 10, 5:21 to play. Boyd behind the arc on the right side. Boyd in the key, gets it to Wade. She fumbled it. She got it back. She spins. She puts it up short. And Boston with a strong rebound, but then they steal the outlet pass. Miller did and laid it up and in.
Yeah, great rebound. Very, very poor pass.
52-44 CSU. 4:56 to go here in the women's game. Lee Williamson. Kayla Carter. An entry pass to Boston. Not a good one. Knocked away. Turnover. Miller down the middle of the lane. And shot is up. No good. Get a rebound. Put it up. No. Pierce missed it. And then she drags Lee Williamson down to the floor.
Well, Flagler out on the break that time, and looked like Miller probably should have given that ball up to Pierce, but Pierce went and got a rebound, and she couldn't finish her second chance there.
And she picks up her fourth foul.
And at this point, you have no choice but to leave her on the floor down 8.
Since that first quarter, CSU has done a nice job on her.
They really have. They've really tightened up on her, and her production has slowed down a bunch.
CSU calls a timeout. We'll hold it right here. We want to thank our sponsors, Burger King, Pepsi, Mediacom, the Houston Clinic, CSU Dining Services, Kia, La Quinta Inn and Suites, Valley Hospitality, Hula Hands, the Cannon Brew Pub, the Cougar Club, the CSU Bookstore, Nuke's Eatery, Kinetic Credit Union, CSU Girls in the Game, Waffle House, Buckhead Steak and Wine, and Coca-Cola. We thank our sponsors, and we hope all of you fans will tell them you appreciate them sponsoring Columbus State sports. 4.5 to go on this one. CSU with the ball, and an 8-point lead. Lee up top, Ebo, Kayla Carter. What a pass to Dawkins off the glass, good!
Boy, beautiful set play out of the timeout against that zone, and Kayla Carter one more time delivering a strike. 2 more for CSU.
How pretty was that? A great play called, and perfect pass, and Oz finished it off. Shot up by Pierce, no good. Rebound, Kayla Carter. Here comes Kayla into the front court. Kayla leaves it for Ebo. We're under the 4-minute mark now. Lee Williamson, Dawkins in the key. Kayla Carter on the right wing. Kayla reverses it to Lee, puts it on the floor, drives. Shot is good.
Boy, tough shot. She warded off the defender with her left arm and finished the play. Nice by Lee.
56-44 CSU. Lee with 14 points now. Good players figure out a way to get it done when their game, what they normally do well, is not on, and that's what Lee's done today.
Absolutely. Just keep playing, keep shooting.
All right, there's a blocking foul on Lee.
A good call there. Lee reaching that time. And CSU's really kind of fought their way through this game. Didn't play very well in the first half, really dominated the third quarter, and this is going to be one of those games you just mark down. It's a game CSU's supposed to win, and in good position now to close this thing out.
Boyd just to our right here. Gets it in. Head of the key. Kicks it over to Langer for three. Good. And timeout, Flagler. Langler, as she caught that pass, she checked her feet to make sure she was behind the arc. She was, and she drained it. 30-second timeout, so we'll just hold it right here.
Yeah, nice shot that time, but going up, it looked a bit like an old Phil Negro pitch. Had the old knuckleball to it, but it found the bottom of the basket, cuts the lead to 9. And, you commented, Scott, on that play out of the timeout. That's really fun to see. You see Coach Hauser call that timeout, draw something up. The execution was good, and more importantly, they finished it and got a basket out of it. I love to see stuff like that. Coach Hauser very animated right now in the huddle with his ladies telling, hey, we have to close this thing out.
Yeah, not over yet. There's still 3:08 to play, and the lead is 9 with the ball. Arian Dozier is checked in. Thank you for joining us on Cougar Sports TV here today. Kayla Carter, Journey Smith between the circles. Lee Williamson left wing. Kayla Carter behind the arc on the right side. Kayla drives into the paint. The shot is up, no good. Dawkins with a rebound, and she is fouled on the floor before her shot.
Nice job by Dawkins being very active down there. Kayla getting the ball up on the rim. Dawkins going and getting it.
So baseline, and CSU calls a timeout, so a 30-second timeout, and we will hold it right here.
A chance for Coach Hauser to draw up another play here on the out of bounds. And both the men and the women's teams are very, very good at this. We've seen this for years. Coach Moore is a master of the inbounds play underneath his own basket. So see what Coach Hauser has in store for us when we come out of the timeout.
Fans, don't forget, we've got another game on Monday afternoon. Martin Luther King Jr. holiday games. Normally weekday games are at night, but these will be afternoon on the holiday. And Augusta comes in. 1:30 for the women, 3:30 for the men here at Herbert Green Court in the Lumpkin Center. All right, we get the ball into Lee. Kayla Carter. Lee for three, no, and the rebound goes to Flagler. Into the front court, here's Boyd. Boyd leaves it out. A long two is no good, and Dozier with the rebound on the miss from Crane. Fruit gets it to Lee. There's Kayla Carter for three. Shot it long. Dozier with a rebound. Dribbles underneath the bucket, goes back up and is fouled, and will go to the line to shoot two.
Well, the perimeter shots are just not falling today for CSU, but Dozier doing a nice job going and getting an offensive rebound.
And Fruit will go to the line to shoot a couple here with 2:27 to go. And that one is good.
Still had one of the better nicknames in the Peach Belt and the country. Fruit.
It's very appropriate in the Peach Belt.
Yeah, exactly.
That her nickname is Fruit. Free throw is no good. The lead, though, is 10 with 2:23 to play. Into the front court. There's Frame. Drives off the glass, no. And rebound, Journey picked it up off of the floor. Got it out to Kayla Carter. Kayla driving back all the way. Off the glass, good. What a drive, what a finish by Kayla Carter.
There's that left hand again. She is so good using that left. Beautiful shot.
59-47 back the other way, and they get a layup and a quick timeout. 59-49 CSU with 1:54 to go. And again, we'll just hold it right here at courtside as Flagler drawing something up over there. The men's game will follow. Big game for the men as well. Mike trying to bounce back from a tough loss on Wednesday night.
Yeah, tough loss Wednesday night, a game where CSU just decided not to play in the second half. They were only down 5 at the half. North Georgia came out, scored the first 10, I believe, of the second half, and the game was over. So, you know, it is a big game. And as we always talk about, these home games in conference, you have to hold serve. So hopefully the men will be ready to go.
Mike, we're in the middle now. This is the second game of a 4 games in 8 day stretch with Wednesday, Saturday, Monday, Wednesday. How is that as a player?
Well, at this time of the year, you're usually, you know, you have your legs, you're in pretty good shape. I don't really think it's that big of a deal. You know, it's like that for pretty much everybody. You just have to come out ready to go. I think it's really as much mental as it is physical. I mean, physically in the middle of the year like this, you're good to go, but you have to keep your mind sharp and you have to be ready to play.
Well, we've got these back-to-back home games sandwiched in between a road game last Wednesday and a road game Wednesday. This coming Wednesday will be at Clayton State. That'll be a short road trip, so that will help. And again, the road games, Dozier tried to get it in. It's knocked away, but she got it back herself. Gets it to Lee. Great pass inside to Dawkins, and a nice finish by Osh.
Very, very strange play that time, but it ends up with a CSU basket. We'll take it.
It's like Fruit inbounded the ball to herself legally, didn't it?
Exactly.
Journey threw the ball, got the ball as they throw it away. Journey back the other way. Drive off the glass. Good. And she's fouled. Count the bucket.
Well, Journey with a nice job getting the steal and just decided to take it herself that time. Journey has had a very nice basketball game today. She has 11 points, which matches the number on her jersey.
And tries to complete the three-point play. In and out, no good. Pierce got a rebound, and Dozier fouled her. So they'll not in the bonus yet, neither side.
And this is a game that looks like it's going to end with a CSU win. But when you look back on the schedule, it's just a W. That's all you see.
That's what you got to keep doing. Big win, number 10 overall. Way to drive back, missed it. There's Pierce with another rebound, and she's fouled by Dawkins.
Well, it looked like early in the game, Pierce was going to get every rebound, and I believe that's her 15th rebound today, but she had, 9 or 10 of those in the first quarter?
Yeah, I had 10 in the first quarter. 9 points and 10 rebounds, and CSU did a very nice job of adjusting on her after that. Free throw's good, 63-50. After Monday's home games, we're on the road, as I said, at Clayton State. Free throw is no good, and we've got a rebounding foul on Flagler. And so at Clayton State on Wednesday, and again going forward here, all the games will be on Cougar Sports TV. The home games will be video, of course, and then the road games audio only. So Cougar fans make note of that. So Lee Williamson comes out. Ajane Dawkins comes out. Fans give him a big hand. And Kimmy Edgeworth has checked into the game. The free throw by Fruit is no good. Toxiana Wilson back in the game as well. Let's see if we can get Kimmy a bucket here.
I'll get her a 3. She has yet to hit a 3 this year. Be nice to see her get one of those.
Free throw was in and out, no good, and a drive back the other way, and the basket counts and a foul. 63-52. Kimmy had, it was at Georgia College, and we've talked about it in a previous game, but she doesn't have a 3, but she had back-to-back three-point attempts that spun around the rim twice and came out both times.
So she is owed a couple.
Free throw is good. 1:08 to play. And Journey Smith gets it to Dozier. Journey. Kayla Carter headed the key. Kimmy on the wing. The bench wanted her to shoot. She didn't get it off. Journey Smith short from 3. Rebound goes to the Saints. And a drive back the other way and a foul. It's 63-53 CSU. They haven't put a point up on the board for Flagler here in the building.
That's one of those plays by Kayla Carter. You just want to really let her go there and inbound the ball, and let's get this thing over with.
Free throw is no good. And the official is going to check the official book over there. It should be 53, as I just noted. They've got 52 up on the board. 63-53 should be the score with 45 seconds. But they haven't corrected it, so maybe not. Free throw is no good, and the rebound goes to Kayla Carter. Kimmy Edgeworth for 3, off the glass, no. And the rebound goes to Toxie. Toxiana Wilson puts it back up and in.
So Kimmy Edgeworth tried to go glass from 3 that time, just a little bit off, but Toxiana Wilson getting herself another basket.
65-53, and they throw the ball away. Had that one gone in by Kimmy, it would have been okay. She is owed, as you said, a couple of those.
Exactly. She's had some tough luck. And as you mentioned, over at Georgia College, had a couple spin out.
All right, 23 seconds left on this one. The Lady Cougars are going to get to double digits in the win column. Pick up their 10th win here. Bounce pass to Toxie, out to Kimmy for 3. Shot it long. Backside rebound, Kayla Carter. Journey Smith kicks it out to Kimmy for 3. No! And the rebound goes to the Saints. And that's how this game ends. Boy, the bench was all into it, wanting one of those shots by Kimmy Edgeworth to go down, but they wouldn't. But a nice win for CSU here today.
Well, a nice win for CSU to get them to 10-3. A very, very ugly basketball game, but as I mentioned a moment ago, when you look back on the season, this will just be another one that you put in the win column, and CSU goes to 10-3 and 5-2 in the league, which is a good thing. And they're setting themselves up to be in a good position to make a run at this thing coming down the stretch. So I have to say, Scott, it was enjoyable to do the broadcast, not very enjoyable to watch today.
Well, sometimes you just have to find a way to win, don't you? And that's what good teams do.
Absolutely. And CSU just kind of hung around long enough. You know, they were only down 1 at the half, came out, dominated the third quarter, and ended up putting this one in the win column. So a good win for the ladies.
All right, we will take a short break, and we'll come back and talk with Coach Matt Hauser on the post-game show here at Herbert Green Court at the Lumpkin Center, as the Lady Cougars have won this one 65-53. And back with the coach coming up. This is Cougar Sports TV.
Choosing the right college can be a challenge. Does it offer degrees suited to your career goals? Are emerging fields of study more your interest, like cybersecurity, gaming, or environmental science? What about extracurricular activities, such as campus life, study abroad, or honors? Are scholarships and financial assistance available? Columbus State University has always been one of the most affordable colleges in Georgia. Now it's also one of the fastest growing. When you ask the right questions, you'll find out why CSU should be.
Scott Miller back at Herbert Green Court inside the Lumpkin Center, where the Lady Cougars have defeated Flagler here this afternoon, 65-53. And Coach Matt Hauser joins us on the postgame show. And Matt, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Well, it was a struggle for a portion of the game. But that's what good teams have to do.
Yeah.
You have to find a way to win when maybe you're not playing at the top of your game, and that's what we did today.
Yeah, it's funny because, you see these scores like North Georgia only beat this team by 8 or 10, But it comes down to conference because everybody knows the plays, everybody knows everybody. So games are really tight in conference, and we have to be able to see the openings that we've had in this game, and we got to convert off of it. I mean, if we converted off some of our layups and our wide open shots, this is a better game. But in that aspect, it's still focusing on what we're doing. We didn't go away just because we're missing it. We still kept going at what we're doing, and you saw once we started executing, then we started finishing.
Well, and I mentioned several times, individually and as a team, when, for instance, let's take Leasia Williamson. Her outside shots again tonight were not falling.
Right.
But she found other ways to score, and she ended up with 14 points.
And that is from last game, focusing on this game on what she needed to, improve on. Her outside shots weren't working, but she kept going to that. She changed it up, attacking the basket, getting to the free throw line a little bit more. We got to change it up. She still can score in other aspects of this game. That's what makes her so dangerous. That's what makes her one of the top guards in this conference. I mean, she got to the free throw line 4 times, steals in defensive transition, okay? So now she's understanding the productivity of all these other parts of the game can still produce scoring.
Well, I thought we did a great job after Pierce, their really outstanding post player, had an all-world first quarter.
Right.
9 points, 10 rebounds. After that, you really did a nice job.
And we got to give big props to Oz. Oz was huge. She contained her, and, she had 17 rebounds, but Oz had 12. And then the same thing, she had 16 points, Oz had 12. So we had a post player that was really trying to go and attack and do those great things, but I'll give a huge shout out to Toxie. Toxie came off the bench and did absolutely amazing job giving that energy and effort, especially in the post play.
That's really what kick-started
Yes.
her when she came in the game.
Yes, she did. She did an amazing job. Her rebounding, her defensive, responsibilities, she did an amazing job. So I'm super proud of her. Player of the game definitely goes to Aj, but I'll tell you, that energy and effort, player of the game goes to Toxie off the bench. I'm super happy with her right now.
So Ajane Dawkins, the Pepsi player of the game, and the super energy player, Toxiana Wilson, with 10 points. So we get to double digits in the win column with 10, and now a quick turnaround. That sounds good, doesn't
Yes, it does. It really does. I'll take it. I'll take it.
Now a quick turnaround, and Augusta is in here on Monday afternoon.
Yeah, we have 3 games. We have today, Monday, and Wednesday. So we just have to be sharp, razor sharp, execute, rest. This is a grind for everybody in our conference. To play Saturday, Monday, and Wednesday, these are big games, and we got to keep going in the right direction.
Okay, Matt, thanks.
All right, thank you so much.
Coach Matt Hauser and the Lady Cougars have won this one 65-53 here on Cougar Sports TV. And don't forget to stay tuned. We'll be back in about 20 minutes or so with the men's game coming up on Cougar Sports TV. And this is Scott Miller from the Lumpkin Center. And once again, your final score, CSU Lady Cougars 65, Flagler 53.